Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bill. We are in the Fantasy Trip, the In the Labyrinth game by Steve Jackson Games. We are going to go over talents today. I don't know that I'm going to do all of them. If I don't do all of them, I'll pick a section to stop at and we'll do another continuation of this video next week, wherever I left off at. So first, I need to figure out where the talents are. Talents are page 35. Okay. So, talents start with an IQ 7. So to learn a talent, your character has to have an IQ of 7 or higher. So when you're designing monsters and things of that nature, that's where the talents come in. The first talent on IQ 7 is Brawling. It requires 1 point. So when your character starts with 7 IQ, you spend 1 point. So you have 6 more points left to spend to buy talents. But your IQ is still 7, so you would get to pick from all the IQ 7 talents. So Brawling costs 1. Experience with unscientific bar fighting, friendly or otherwise. If you also have a carousing skill, you can roll 2 dice versus IQ to keep a brawl friendly, unless you then do something evil. Improvised weapons. You may ready a bottle into an unthrowable dagger, throw a mug as though it was a rock, or find a club in any piece of broken furniture. Your punch would do the normal hand-to-hand, dirty fighting. You may choose to do 2 extra hits of damage, so 2 hit points extra of damage, with bare hands in either hand-to-hand or regular combat, but then the brawl is not friendly. Foes will fight back dirty or grab weapons if they can. Carousing also costs 1. You are a party animal. It would not be wrong to think of this talent as courtly graces for taverns, and you can tell good wine from bad. You will not turn down the bad wine if it's all there is. With this skill, you get +1 on reaction rolls during the evening of revelry, and from those who remember a recent revel, even if they wound up in a friendly brawl with you. In a situation where other figures might be penalized on die rolls due to excessive partying, you have no such penalty. Now, let's go into the other ones. The other ones are weapon talents. For IQ 7, you have Knife. That'll cost 1 point. It's the ability to use all types of knives in a fighting situation. Sword costs 2, but if you buy 2, you get Knife for free. Buy the sword for 2, you get Knife for free. It's the ability to use all swords on the weapon table. This ability includes Knife and costs only 1 point if you already have Knife. Axe Mace, and it's axe/mace, costs 2 points. It's the ability to use all axes, maces, and hammers on the weapon table. Note, the club requires no skill. Anyone can strike with a club or torch. Pole weapons, costs 2. Ability to fight with all pole weapons. Bow, costs 2. Ability to use longbow, horsebow, shortbow, and other draw bows, and the sling. Crossbow costs 1. Ability to use the heavy and light crossbow. Shield costs 1. Ability to use shields properly. Note, this is harder than it looks. No unskilled use of this talent is allowed. And then regular armor you're all proficient in. Just keep in mind certain characters get penalized for wearing metallic armor, and that is the wizards, unless the armor is made out of silver. IQ 8 talents. Area of Knowledge costs 1. Familiarity with a specific area. The bigger the area, the less detail will be known. It's more likely to be a skill of an NPC, such as a hired guide, rather than a talent bought by player characters. In a city, area knowledge would let you quickly find the kind of shop you want, find the right road out of town, and warn against bad neighborhoods. In the country, it would help you get around without a map. An urchin might have intimate and specific area knowledge of her own neighborhood, from the sewers to the rooftops. A duke scribe might have a wide and general area knowledge relating to the towns, villages, roads, and resources of the whole duchy. Boating 1, ability to use small rowboats, canoe, sailboat, raft, etc. skillfully. A figure with this ability must make a 3-die saving roll on decks every 5 minutes or trip over. And by trip over means tip the boat over. So if you don't have this ability, you have to make the 3-die save on decks every 5 minutes. Guns cost 2, ability to use and maintain known types of gunpowder weapons, such as the arquebus and blunderbuss. Anyone can light a petard or grenade. So you don't need proficiency for petard or grenade. Horsemanship 1, this ability allows you to deal with horses and other 1 to 3 hex riding animals with which you may become familiar. Any fool can sit on a nag. This is the ability to ride a good horse. A horseman understands animals and will not often be cheated when buying a riding beast. In combat, he uses weapons at a -1 dex while on horseback. A figure without this talent fights at a -3 dex on horseback, and must make a 3 dex saving roll each turn to avoid falling. So without the talent, your dex penalty for your attack rolls is 3 lower, as well as anything else you're attempting on horseback. And you have to make a 3d6 under your dex saving roll each turn to avoid falling off the horse. Even when combat's not occurring, a non-horseman must make a 3 dex saving roll every 15 minutes to avoid a fall unless he is riding a pack mule, old mare, or similarly docile beast. A fall from the horse does 1d6 minus 2 damage. Literacy costs 1 point, and this is an IQ 8 talent, so if your characters don't pick this up, it is assume all languages they know. They can't read or write. And later on, when you want to spend XP to buy talents instead of increasing your IQ and getting talents that way, it'll cost 500 XP to gain this talent. And a wizard can't use scrolls or magic books if they don't have literacy. And literacy costs the same for a wizard. It's one of the few talents that cost the exact same. Mundane talents. A number of mundane abilities to be learned at IQ 8. Their names are self-explanatory. To go into great detail wouldn't be worthwhile. 1 point mundane talents are farmer, beekeeper, butcher, carpenter, dancer, draper, fisherman, gardener, handyman, miner, scribe, tailor, tanner, woodcarver. 2 IQ point mundane talents are administrator, baker, brewer, cook, herald, jeweler, joiner, leatherworker, potter, sculptor, vintner, and weaver. 3 IQ point mundane talents are artist, calligrapher, astrologer, lawyer, full mastery of any one musical instrument or any 1 or 2 point talent listed above would be 3 points. Quick draw weapon is another talent from the IQ 8. Costs 1. Starting with an unreadied weapon, roll 3 dice versus dex -2 at the start of your action phase. Success means you can ready the weapon and strike on the same turn. Failure means the action is lost and the weapon is not readied. A critical failure drops the weapon into a randomly chosen adjacent hex. This is a separate talent for each class of weapon. Prerequisite, the talent for that class of weapon. Not applicable for hand-to-hand combat. Running costs 2. This is the talent representing long hours of jogging, sprinting, and other track training. A figure with this ability adds 2 to his or her movement allowance when wearing leather or lighter armor. Seamanship. Ability to act as an ordinary seaman on a trading ship, fishing boat, and other medium to large vessel. A figure without this talent suffers a -2 dex adjustment, except to cast a non-missile spell while on shipboard. Sex appeal. Ability to charm the opposite sex gives you a saving roll of 3 dice against your highest attribute against being slain by members of the opposite sex and a similar race. For instance, if they have you helpless and you make the saving roll, they might take you prisoner instead of killing you. Also, you may use this talent when negotiating with the member of the opposite sex. Make the same roll as above. If you make it, the GM adds 1 to the reaction die roll for the character. If you fail, the GM subtracts 1 for your clumsiness. This is a talent where the GM should reward good roleplaying. Swimming 1. General swimming ability. A swimmer can automatically swim without risk in ordinary situations. A non-swimmer can try to dog paddle, but it is at risk of drowning and must roll versus dex every minute. See also water. This talent also increases your chance of surviving a fall into water, even in armor. If you fall into water, make a saving roll versus your adjusted dex. So the armor would give you a dex penalty. 4 dice for a non-swimmer, 2 dice for a swimmer. A figure with the diving talent succeeds automatically. Thrown weapons costs 2. It's the ability to throw things hard and accurately. This talent is a prerequisite for unusual weapons that must be thrown, like bola, shotgun. A figure with this talent gets a +2 dex bonus whenever he throws something. He can also throw any weapon on the same turn he readies it. IQ 8 unusual weapon talents. Blowgun costs 1. Bola costs 1, but you have to have the thrown weapons prerequisite talent. Boomerang costs 1, but you also have to have the thrown weapons talent. Cestus costs 1. Lasso costs 1. Net and Trident costs 1, but you also have to have pole weapons. Nunchakus costs 1. Quarterstaff costs 1. Shotgun costs 1, but you have to have the prerequisite thrown weapons. Spear thrower costs 1, and you have to have either pole weapons or thrown weapons as the prerequisite. And then whip costs 1. So I think I'm going to end it here for this video, and the next one would be IQ 9 talents. The IQ talents go up to $14, and it's another 7 pages of talents to read out to you guys and go over how much it costs and everything. So I'll probably have about 2 IQ worth of talents per video. So the next one would be like IQ 9 and 10. If this gave you some insight on how a character is made, like how you pick between this stuff, let me know in the comments below. Until we all game again, guys.